I like to think I'm an activist, a poet, and hopefully a scholar. I'm currently at university, so I'm on my dissertation year, which is stressful, and I've wrote a book which is called The Boy Behind the Wall, and that is a poetry collection, but it's written as a memoir, so it's each day from poetry from when I wrote when I was young to my incarceration, prison and release. So I was working with a few different writing groups. Michelle Scally-Clark, she was doing a writing group for sort of not marginalised people, but people that wanted to get out in the community and do more things. And she was at, I'm sure it's the old fire station, and we were doing a performance night. And she said it was part of some bigger thing. So I was there reading poetry, and that's when I discovered about Leeds 2023 at this sort of introductory session, and I was just like blown away with the prospect of that happening in Leeds. So I was with doing a lot of stuff with Chapel FM and Peter Spafford, and they were saying that Leeds 2023 was going to do a sort of a launch night at Chapel FM, and would I like to do some reading as part of the event, and I was just completely shocked. I was like, yeah, I'd love to. It sounds like an incredible project. A lot of my poetry is sort of a meld of pure life experience. I've had a history that's not been great, and I think for me it's sharing those stories and using myself as that example. Leeds 2023 and even 2023 as a whole has been a massive step in my journey. When I first arrived in Leeds, I was moved here because I was homeless. I was coming from a female prison, and there are few resources for people in prison, and there's only one hostel for women in this area, and that's where I got placed. So Leeds was somewhere that was alien to me. I didn't have a home, I had nowhere. And all of a sudden I saw instantly this creative community in Leeds. Being a part of the festival has shown me cultures and people I never ever would have met. I was hanging around with the most incredible artists and performers, poet laureates from New Zealand, Christie's, Lebo from South Africa, who I class as a friend now. We still correspond. And so many people that I never ever would have been able to have gone to their country to sing what they do. Anytime that I write poetry or I read it out loud, I just hope people see another side to the world. And I think Leeds 2023 gave me a chance to show that anyone that's got a history that's not necessarily the way they're planned has a place at the table, has a place in the community, that Leeds is a vibrant, thriving community that, you know, accepts people regardless of their past and gives them a second chance. And for me, I hope that somebody that maybe has got out of prison, that thinks it's hopeless, they can't get a job in those initial stages of release, will see that in the future, if they keep going and they keep trying, that they can be at that table and they can have their dreams. I think for me, any advice that I could give somebody is be yourself. I was so scared of myself for so long, scared of who I was. I'm very proud now to tell anyone that I'm transgender and that I'm into theatre and I love poetry. And I think for me it was always that fear when I was younger of never being good enough. So poetry's actually given me a voice, because to me, even though I wasn't good at grammar, I didn't realise till recently I had dyslexia and a few other things. I was struggling with education, but actually what creativity gave me was that way in, that alternative avenue. Rather than purely academic, you can express yourself, and you can't get that wrong, because what you have inside is purely you, so there isn't a wrong or right answer.